Let's do this. Good morning, and welcome to the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is the show where we talk about everything.
What the hell?
Well, almost. From today's news, culture, entertainment, real life, real people, and the stories everybody's talking about. And no, we don't do it in some tiny glass bubble. We do it the only way we know how. Real and completely unleashed.
Fire hole, fire hole, fire hole.
So lean in and let's go right now.
Give me that hell yeah. What? Sunshine and rainbows. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. World ain't all.
Yeah, good morning. It is Friday. Good morning. Friday, June 19th. And the year is 2026. My name is Daryl Arnold. You are tuned in, locked in. 104.3 FM is the radio dial. It is the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold on a Friday. And we're all over the internet as well. You can check everywhere, basically. You can check everywhere. YouTube, we're on Daryl Arnold MS on Facebook. We're also at Unleashed Media and Talk on Facebook. And all these are live, Rumble, etc. All the platforms. And then, of course, you can listen to the podcast at any time after the episodes. That, my friends, is what's happening right now as we speak. And if you want to text me on the Unleashed Media text line, it's 601-918-8409 on this Friday morning. Again, 601-918-8409. We'll take the text. We'll take the messages. We'll talk about it on the air. We'll talk about it anywhere, and etc. I hope that your Friday so far is kicking off. It's bright and early. If you're an early bird, good morning. If you're not, you can listen back to this at any time you want. That's the fantastic thing about social media now. You can just go back and look on my page at the video, start from the beginning, start from the middle, and just check it out. Whatever you, my friends, want to do. Is there anything going on in this world? Is there anything going on? Well, besides rain in the southeast, tropical storms, flash flooding, been a lot of that going on. I heard on the actual news on the way over here that in Mississippi has been a lot of flooding going on where we reside. One Mississippi worker working the flooding, I do believe, has passed away. It's been pretty rough, you guys, for a lot of low level areas down around Forest, Mississippi, Scott County, all the way up to Hancock County, all the way through up north as well. So big prayers to everybody involved in that for sure. And the rain here where we're broadcasting from has finally calmed down a bit. We just hope it stays that way. We hope it stays that way. It's been a big time week of rain, and I do mean big time. Buckets and buckets of rain. And yes, we needed it, but we don't need it to happen so fast that everywhere floods. So again, be careful out there because it is supposed to rain more this weekend coming up. So hopefully that doesn't happen too bad, but you never know. You never know. There's a lot of things in life that are semi predictable. Rain is not one of them, especially in the South. If you live in the South, you already know this. You already, in fact, know it. So again, good morning, 6:36 a.m. That's Central Time. My name is Daryl Arnold. Please share this post, this live streaming. If you see it on Facebook, we appreciate all of that as well. And if you don't see it, watch it later, or just grab it on iTunes, grab it on Apple Podcasts, of course, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Simplecast. It's just all over, honestly. So many of them. I think it's like 56 different podcast platforms as we speak today. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. Okay, let's get back to it. So, again, today, my friends, is Friday. Some people are off work today. It is a holiday with the Juneteenth thing. So, but I do know that a lot of people don't recognize that. I'm not getting into that argument. Not going to happen. So, keep me out of that. We got enough craziness that we have to talk about on the show without bringing in more insanity. Okay, more insanity. It is 6:38. I was just getting a message right now from someone that is checked in from overseas. Good morning. Well, good morning to you, and thank you for listening overseas. And I got somebody in Hawaii right now too, which is not overseas, but it's definitely over the ocean. Definitely over the ocean. All right, let's get this party started. It has been a wild ride this week with the quote deal with Donald Trump and the Trump administration, JD Vance, everybody else involved, working on getting a deal, a memorandum signed. This is a memorandum of understanding, okay? Couple of pages long, 14 points. It was signed by Trump. JD Vance was headed over today to Switzerland to meet with one of the Iranian leaders that was going to sign with him. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, and really, there's kind of no reason to happen because if they're not going along with the memorandum, a lot of people are doing backflips over this, freaking out over it. It's a good deal. It's a bad deal. It's no deal. Nothing happened. We spent all this money on a useless war. And, Israel now is PO'd and they're going to do this and we're not going to do that. My thing is this: if any of y'all think you could have done it better, then good luck. Good luck. And I'm not taking up for Trump completely, but I'm also not throwing him under the bus because nobody else in 47 years even freaking tried. Obama tried some weak, scaredy cat, ridiculous stuff that didn't do anything, but there was nothing signed. Instead, we were just dropping off cash out of planes, pallets of green cash. That's not a freaking deal. Obama's been in the news and the spotlight lately because he had his little get together with all of his little fake rock stars, celebritards, you know, their little celebrity roast of Donald Trump. They're still laughing at that guy. But you know what? Trump don't give a damn. And we, the people, don't give a damn about what the elitists think. Okay? One day, maybe these people will realize we don't care what they think. Their ridiculousness, their quote word, we don't take their word for anything. They're actors, they're comedians, they're musicians, and they're just rich folks. Really, that's all. Who've done nothing for any of us. Me, you, or anybody else out there listening, I can promise you. If they've done anything personally for you, well, good for you. But I'd love to hear about that. I would really love to hear about that. People can't name anything that Obama did good. Look at what he did to our health system. Change forever, not just a little bit. Changed forever. That's just the honest to God truth. There's no trying to hide it, any of that. So, as you all know, Andy Gibson running for governor in the state of Mississippi. He is the ag commissioner, agricultural commissioner. There's some names that have emerged. There are some names that have emerged as possible candidates to replace the ongoing Andy Gibson, who is running for governor. The Magnolia Tribune did a piece on that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, what you think about it, all that good stuff too as well. I want to thank all of our sponsors, Cypress Point Resort, Electrical Solutions, Electrical Power, Electrical Solutions, right here in Pearl, and services. They take care of you in central Mississippi and beyond. Contact them. You can find them all over this program and just check them out on Facebook, all that good stuff. Of course, Mobility Medical, and that's mobilitymedicalinc.com, and Mississippi Coding Academies, mscoding.org. Andy Gibson is leaving an open seat in Mississippi in 27. The state ag oversees the Mississippi Department of Agriculture and Commerce, and state law provides that the commissioner is to have a competent knowledge, of course, like really, of agriculture, mining, manufacturing, statistics, and general industries. Again, this is coming from the Magnolia Tribune. The law also charges the commissioner with numerous other duties in the areas of developing and marketing of agriculture and commerce. Yeah, because Andy does a lot over there, you guys. Mr. Gibson, he really does. A lot to do with the fairs, a lot to do with the rodeos, all of that stuff. But Gibson has held that position since 2018. Having first been appointed to the post by the former governor, Phil Bryant. Then he ran for the full 4-year term in 2019 and won. He won with over 58% of the vote. And then the Republican did not face the primary election challenger in either of the statewide races, though. So who's going to replace Andy Gibson, who's running for governor of Mississippi in the 2027 election? There is some names out there. Dane Maxwell, Vince Mangold, Neil Whaley or Neil Whaley, Kyle Cockrell, whom I know personally, Ricky Cole, Robert Bradford. That's some names that are being thrown around. Now, personally, Kyle Cockrell, who owns Cockrell Farmers Market, incredible. Old Fannin Road, right off Lakeland Drive. If you've never been to Cockrell's Farmers Market, go now. Amazing. But he is actively campaigning right now for agriculture commissioner, rolling out campaign logos, yard signs. He's, like I said, third generation family owned farmers market in central Mississippi. Third generation, ladies and gentlemen. He was also the past chairman of the Smith County Republican Party and successfully ran the Mississippi House of Representatives in 2023 and pulled 28% of the vote in the primaries. So start thinking about that, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people think ag commissioner or agricultural commissioner, communications, all of that. I don't guess they really realize what all that does. It does a lot for this state. They have to make some big decisions too, really big decisions that affect all of us on a daily basis. You have to be able to really relate to the Mississippi farmers out there. That is key. And be able to listen, extremely listen to their needs. So that's just something we're putting out there for you. I ran across the story, know the people in play. And it's going to be big because obviously Andy Gibson cannot run. He's running for governor. That's the way that works, my friends. That's the way it works 11 minutes before the hour on a Friday, June 19th, 2026. Let's get into some other news and some culture stuff right here. Maybe even a little entertainment today. It is Friday. Why not? What the hell? But JD Vance kind of, sort of, let's just use the word oblivion. Not that word. He kind of, sort of slammed the Israeli cabinet members who are now attacking President Trump. You cannot make these people happy. You can't. Over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons over in Israel and all that was because of President Trump in the United States. So all these warmongers that are crying that want to spend more money and take it well above 40 trillion. Yeah, that's where we are, 40 trillion, y'all. They want to start crying and all that. And I really don't think they could have done it any better, and I don't see them doing it. I mean, I personally don't see any of them doing it.
Is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the president of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the president of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in.
Ain't that the truth? Their least problem is Donald Trump, because honestly, Israel has lost everybody that backed them. They only had the United States. They only had the United States and nobody else on board. Like nobody was backing them. And nobody's still backing them. So it really is crazy. It's just the amount of hatred online for either side is beyond sick. But in my opinion, because this is my show, Vice President J.D. Vance, he's just speaking the truth. Whether you can handle it or not is your business. You know, it's your business. I mean, here's a message right now. I feel that J.D. Vance is the problem. No. Okay. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. You can't make these people. You have the Israel haters, and they are haters. Okay. And then you have the other side that basically hate everything that Trump does, which locks in J.D. Vance. Okay. Steve messaged me. I'm not saying his last name. Voted for Trump 3 times. He effed this whole situation up beyond comprehension. Made us look weak. Okay. That's your opinion, sir. Thanks for the text. Not everybody agrees with you. A lot of people do agree with you. But nobody has ever tried for 47 years. All the presidents had the same opportunity as Trump. All of them. They didn't drop bombs on the heads of these Fruit Loops like Trump did. They didn't unload on their weapons systems and lock down the Strait of Hormuz and pretty much make these people 1,000% bankrupt, where they're begging. Because you see something on one of your favorite podcaster, whoever that may be, you can't listen to that crap. The propaganda, the payments for propaganda on both sides is unbelievable. In the podcast world, it is unreal. And it is mostly coming from Israel, who we helped. Anyway, you also get messages like this one. We are quite happy. We do have endless gratitude for President Trump and what he did for Israel. Now, these are normal people. These are not your Benjamin Netanyahu. These are not the leadership. These are basically the population. That's what they are. On Tulsi Gabbard's finally day, her final day, Tulsi Gabbard's final day, was yesterday. And she went on to write this. Now, it's way too long to play any clips from this, but you're welcome to find it. It's out there everywhere. On her final day as Director of National Intelligence, she said, quote, "I'm releasing never seen before communications and documents exposing how Dr. Anthony Fauci provided millions of dollars in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund highly dangerous gain of function research in the Wuhan lab. Also, worked with politicized elements within the intelligence community to suppress the truth." We all knew this, but these are unseen brand new documents that she's releasing. Books and pages full. She also went on to say to suppress the truth about actions and hide the virus, lab leak origins, and lied to Congress while under oath in 2024. It is time that you know the truth. That's what Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, said yesterday on her final day in office. You know, she went on to talk about the shots and the bioweapons. I mean, literal bioweapons. This is Dr. Fauci, y'all. Nothing will probably ever happen to Dr. Fauci, but I'll give her a high five for putting all this out. You know, they should have put this out from the beginning. But she will forever be remembered for at least trying when nobody else had the guts. Nobody else had the guts to try at all. Okay? We're going to break. My name is Daryl Arnold, Unleashed.
We all make promises, big and small.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I do solemnly swear
to help you when you're in need,
to be considerate and caring, to be your loving, faithful friend,
partner,
child,
parent,
neighbor.
One of our most important commitments is to support our nation's veterans. Learn how you can help a veteran going through a difficult time by visiting maketheconnection.net.
Support for these programs comes from Electrical Solutions and Services in Pearl, Mississippi, providing licensed electrical contracting services throughout Mississippi for commercial, industrial, and residential projects. Also installations, system upgrades, troubleshooting, and emergency electrical repairs. As certified installers for Tesla, charging systems, and a certified dealer for Generac backup power solutions, their team delivers safe, code-compliant workmanship with a commitment to precision and integrity. They are veteran-owned. Their phone number is 769-572-7597.
You are listening to WPBP 104.3 FM, The Pirate, Pearl, Mississippi.
Welcome back to the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold. And yes, he's still unapologetic.
And it is straight up top of the hour, 7 a.m. Central Time in the morning, Friday, June 19th, 2026. My name is Daryl Arnold. You've tuned in live. We're unapologetic on this Friday. And we're just talking about Dr. Fauci contributing to mass destruction in this country. Okay, mass destruction. Fauci needs to be locked up together with some very bad people. Together. Just lock them up. Also, I want to say thanks for the service as Director of National Intelligence and for releasing all of these documents on your last day out. And prayers to your husband going through cancer, to the DNI Tulsi Gabbard. Thank you so much. But I remember way back in 2022, Elon Musk said, quote, "My pronouns are prosecute Fauci." It never happened. It never happened. Because once Biden went into office, of course they weren't going to, instead of prosecuting Fauci, Joe Biden made sure on his way out that his son, who he said the whole time would not get immunity, he did. And so did and so did Dr. Anthony Fauci. And while Fauci did not act alone, of course, and when will these people be responsible? That's a good ass question right there. When will all of these people be perp walked? We talk about this 3 times a week. When? Well, I don't know when. I wish I did know when. I wish that was true. But she did shock the deep state yesterday by releasing all of this, and good. That's my answer. Good. GOOD. And one of the greatest couple of weeks, though, in crazy politics and deals, somehow we got this memorandum signed. They call it a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. Not sure how it's going to work. You got some people that love it. You're always going to have the a-hole warmongers who want to spend more money to continue so they can make money off these big wartime contracts. It's just the way it works. It is exactly the way it works. It's kind of official now, though, you guys, that the U.S. government intelligence press release. Let's read this. Back the press release that we all know now that funded the Wuhan lab research and the gain of function and all the research, everything that sparked COVID, new evidence in these documents. I mean, really, it just states it clearly from his own words, his own mouth, his own emails, and everything else that Fauci manipulated the intelligence and lied to Congress. Period. Both. So, in other words, he sparked this entire thing, not just for the United States of America, but for the entire world. And you're going to say, Daryl, why we're talking about Fauci? Because he got away with it. You know, he ruined everyone's life and got away with it. And not just in a town, a city, a county, a state, or not just in the United States, but in the entire world. That's it. In the world. And really, like Trump said yesterday to freaking Axios, which is a libtard leaning news outlet, supposedly Axios. I have a gentleman named Mark Caputo that was talking to Trump. And he said basically one thing that is actually true that I agree with him on. He said that it certainly brought Iran to the table more than anybody else before Trump. Now that part's true, whether you like the deal or not. And then he went on to say, however, at the beginning of the conflict, you had talked that you wanted only unconditional surrender. The MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, doesn't quite look like an unconditional surrender. Well, Trump thinks it is. And the problem is none of us will know. None of us will know for months. Or we may know in a week. But we know that nobody's ever brought Iran to any table like this in the past. Let's listen live on what I was just discussing.
Like that. I did a naval blockade where not one ship was able to get through. Some tried. They didn't, it didn't last very long.
And it certainly brought Iran to the table more than before. However, beginning a conflict, you had talked about you only wanted unconditional surrender. And
well,
the MOU doesn't look like unconditional surrender.
Well, it really probably is unconditional surrender.
It is?
I think so.
Very shortly after.
Yeah, he thinks so. Trump thinks so. Now, you don't have to agree with him, and I'm sure a lot of people don't. I'm sure a lot of people don't agree with him, but none of those people are doing anything. It was a complex and still is a very complex situation, folks. So calm your panties. And no, it doesn't look, after all of this, it doesn't look like a whole lot was done. But one thing that it did actually do is, I guarantee you now that the entire world and the United States of America, especially these people that are running around at the malls, still spending money, going to the movies, going wherever, just going to a party, hanging out, filling up their tanks, going out for the weekend, vacations and all. They know what the hell this little tiny Strait of Hormuz is now. They may not have known what it was in the past, but they know now. And that little Strait of Hormuz is, in the big picture, obviously super important. Okay? Super important. Trump exposed that to the mainstream America. Most people never even heard of that. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but most people didn't have a clue. And they still don't completely understand. They still don't completely understand because they only listen to dumb stuff like The View. And even they're talking about the Strait of Hormuz. But, they only listen to that kind of stuff. Okay? Trump is the GOAT, though, in many ways, whether you like him or not, because he said some messed up stuff about lately where, he said, I'm not worried about inflation or screw inflation, whatever it was. I don't remember in the heat of the moment. But if you think about the last 10 years, because I think it was 10 years this week ago when he came down the escalator, it was. And a lot of people just still think that he's the GOAT because of the fact that he has exposed so much the American government and also with the overseas governments, spies. He has busted up. I mean, he's on track to get rid of close to 10 million illegal aliens in this country that the Biden administration let in purposely. But the honest truth is the amount of crimes and scams on the taxpayers' dimes, going all the way from Medicare fraud to EBT fraud, SNAP. It goes all the way. All that Somalian fraud, all the Leering centers. I mean, his team, and it's not Trump, but his team is completely every day, every single day, putting up hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of scammers, putting them in chains, locking them up, and busting up their scams. So this is recently too. This is not pre-Trump 2024, all that. It's comes from the real street. They call her the real street chick. A lot of people still like Trump, whether you think so or not. If you listen to the mainstream media, you're not going to get that.
Patriot or a traitor?
That's the GOAT right there. Donald Trump literally took a bullet for this country. This man has God on his side. He shouldn't even be alive, but he is, because God knew that we needed Trump to make America great again.
This is the guy who gave up everything to try to save this country, and everyone came after him, tried to put him in prison, tried to kill him twice, and still became the president of the United States twice.
He's a unique individual. He's a force of nature. Unlike most politicians, because he's not a politician, he's a political leader. It's different.
Yeah. So he's got his haters, but there's also a lot of people that understand that nobody else would have stepped up to the plate like that because they were the swamp. Step outside of the swamp, ladies and gentlemen. We have elections coming up. We have midterms coming up. That's the moral of this story I just told you. We have midterms coming up. I'm not saying you have to vote for Trump because Trump can't run again. But you need to start looking down the road. You need to start thinking outside the swamp. Think outside of the swamp. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So we're coming up on Father's Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen, which is a special holiday day for all the dads out there. So I hope that all of you get to see your dad if they're still with us and celebrate your dad or your granddad, same thing. Lots of people were raised by their grandparents, including me. So that's important as well. But celebrate your dads this weekend on Sunday. We have the big Father's Day buffet going on at Cypress Point. They have the big spread too. They do it like the Mother's Day celebration, but this is going to be a dad's buffet all the way. So come out with dad, granddad, bring them all. Come on out, do the buffet. But over on the Cameron's Garage side, we also have a special event going on celebrating Father's Day with the Stevens brothers duo acoustic music. But we have the big Beers and Gears car show too. Now, what better way, and I'm being serious too, this is not for clicks. What better way could you celebrate a Dad's Day, a Father's Day, a Grandpa Day than have a car show going on? Vintage, awesome vehicles that are just amazing. This car show does really great. It's called Beers and Gears. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. at Cameron's Garage this Sunday on Father's Day, June 21. And then, of course, the buffet is going on as well for Father's Day, which is always a great time to sit down with Dad, chill out, check out some vehicles, some cool cars, take some cool pictures Great places out there to take pictures. We also obviously have the safari. So you're talking about some good pictures. The layout is incredible. The layout is incredible. We have people just come out just to take pictures. We just do. The opening of the Obama, Barack Hussein Barry Obama presidential center happened. Of course, Biden was there looking confused after being left behind on stage. Didn't know where he was. Couldn't figure it out. What else is new? But they always said that Joe Biden was sharper than ever. He ran for president in the basement, remember, with a freaking mask on and got 80-something million votes. Right. Joy Behar, as J.D. Vance went on The View. We got to give him props for going on The View. That file brain rot show over on that network that starts with an A and ends with a C. He literally joked about being battle tested as a negotiator after making it through his appearance on The View. You think that's funny? Yeah, it is funny, but it's also true because they are some wicked ladies over there. Okay? They are. They are just wicked chicks. Wicked chicks. So that's that. That's that. But he did go on The View and got battle tested. So anybody that thinks that J.D. Vance is scared to go on The View, nope. Nope. Not scared. Good for him. Is J.D. Vance going to run for president? Just got that text message. I don't know. Is it J.D. Vance or is it Mark Rubio? I'm asking. I don't know. Is it neither? It very well could be neither, you guys. Now, I don't feel like that would happen. But technically, of course that could happen. Technically, of course that could happen. Really. Could absolutely happen. But like I said, for all the people that are asking me nonstop, Vice President Vance has canceled his planned trip to Switzerland as the next round of the U.S.-Iran negotiations appears to be slipping off schedule. Now, they're going to make that sound, ooh. But we'll see. I think the U.S. is wanting to do a little harder slap.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Welcome back to the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold. And yes, he's still unapologetic.
All right, welcome back. It is 7:21 in the morning. My name is Daryl Arnold. You have tuned into the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold. And it's no A-N-D in that and. It's just the and symbol. If you want to look it up on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Apple iTunes, all that good stuff. It's just the and sign. White men are weak-minded and you welcome Islam and LGBTQ, the very thing your forefathers fought against. Now, I know you're not talking about me, dude. Okay? Because that's the opposite. Whoever that is texting. Of course, they're unknown. Scaredy cats. Talk the talk, but don't walk the walk, of course. Of course, David Hall text. Good morning, Daryl, with regard to the spew. To the phrase I would use is you can't reason with anyone who won't reason, who won't use that reason that applies to everyone on that show. Yeah, that ridiculous view. We're talking about Joy Behar and the F-tards that are on that particular show because it is nasty. It's nasty. They're nasty women. Nasty women full of propaganda. Baiting. They just bait people. That's what they do. They sit around and bait you all day as citizens. Try to bait you into whatever it is. Okay? So, there was a huge, and I mean huge, we talked about this already this week, so is everybody else, but huge attempt that, thank the Lord above, that the FBI and everybody knew about up front with information against normal people like you, me. 84,000 people at the UFC fight on the White House green last weekend. There was a huge attack planned with drones, and then they had people spotted everywhere, shooters that were just going to start shooting the crowd, literally shooting them. Federal investigators say that one of the 5 suspects, the quote, ringleader, accused of the planned attacks using explosive equipment drones at the White House with the goal of forcing evacuations, creating chaos. Guess what? Was an illegal immigrant. Well, I'll be damned. Illegal immigrant. We're going to use a different word. Illegal alien. Newly surfaced screenshots reportedly show maps, drone placements, single positionings, sniper positionings at the White House with 85,000 people. We have to get control of these nut jobs, y'all. We have to. We have to continue to bust up these rings. So big props to the FBI on this, and shut up if you talk bad about them. You can't do any better. I don't see you doing any better. All you haters, what are you doing? Are you doing that? Are you busting up rings? I doubt it. I doubt it. POTUS said yesterday, told you so. Trump said, told you so. He's talking about the deal, the Iranian deal. It's playing out so far, noting that oil prices dropped down in the mid-70s, low 70s. Iran has stopped shooting vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. We just got to hope all this sits in place. Okay? We just have to. As President Barack Hussein Obama, let's talk about this fella. did his little speech because he can't stand it that he's not in power anymore. I mean, he's in power, though. Don't be fooled. Because he probably is the power behind the whatever's left of the Democrat Socialist Party. But former President Obama took aim at America's founders during his speech. This is the truth. This is not a made-up post on TikTok. He took aim at America's founders during his opening of the, quote, Obama Presidential Center, which, by the way, he owes tons of monies to contractors, won't pay them, and they need their damn money. But let's get back to it. He argued that they left slavery intact and limited political rights despite laying the groundwork for the nation. The remarks come just days before the United States marks its 250th anniversary. Obama urged Americans to continue the work of building a more perfect union. Really, dude? Thank God this guy's not still around. The great liar, the great divider in chief. That's him. Imported terrorist, funded terrorist, spied on the duly elected POTUS that we have now. Attempted to overthrow the government. Of course he did. He even stiffed his own contractors on the building that he was speaking in. What a scumbag, was my opinion. All he does is whine and complain and talk about like it's 2008, 2011 still, but it's not. It's not. What did he build? Nothing. God. Just insane. But really what he should do is concentrate on the black contractors that he stiffed this year instead of race baiting. They built this tower and are now unpaid, and some of them are facing bankruptcy. These people are outside while he's in there hanging out with his elitist buddies.
I would like to know why they're not getting paid and what sense is celebrating Juneteenth if our black contractors are not getting their money. So many of our black contractors are complaining about they have not got their money. But the other side of it, a lot of the black community and the newspapers do not know that these people have not been paid. Some of the people have put their mortgages up. They're going to lose their bonding, their rate in their bonding company. They're going to lose their relationship with their supplier, as well as their banker may want to bring in their note. So they're afraid to talk about these things, but they tell me in privacy that these things are taking place with them. And they're scared to death about it.
After. Yeah, well, they need to get unscared. They need to all get together. Put the hammer down on Obama. Get paid for your work. No matter what. Get paid for your work. And to Barack Hussein Obama out there, pay your damn bills. Okay? These folks may lose their livelihood. I hope every single one of them slaps a lien on you and on that library. The headline reads, Obama's $850 million library faces fresh fury as contractors say they still haven't been paid, y'all. For the $850 million presidential library in Chicago that, they didn't invite Trump to. Of course they didn't. We all heard cackling Hillary Clinton sounding more like Kamala than ever. But whatever. Nobody's paying those people as much attention as they think. Nobody is paying them as much attention as they think. They still think they're that important. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. They were talking about Trump getting a medal or something, a couple of years ago, or the 1 medal, 2 medals, or a Medal of Honor, or whatever, laughing about it. Man. And then they wonder why this nation is so divided. It's because of the dividers, like the Socialist Communist Party that is taking over the nation right now. You better be careful and you better understand what we're talking about. Because I'm not kidding. They are slowly embarrassing us by taking over. They are. The Obama deal alone gave Iran $1 billion in green American money. The New Deal honestly gives them $0 in cash. So think about it that way. Just read into it before you read the headlines. There's a lot more going on with the sweeping arrest and the welfare fraud investigations that are going on around this country. And nobody has ever done anything about that until recently. Nobody's done anything about it until recently. But these people who continue to hate us, the conservative, whatever you are, independent, they continue to take victory laps with their nonsense socialism, communism, pointing out this, that, and the other, free this, free that, free that. It's always been there, y'all, but now it's taking over. Don't let it rot your mind. Don't have brain rot like Joy Behar. Don't have brain rot like Whoopi, Sonny, or any of the rest of the maniacs on MS Cow Now or whatever those stations are. It's just propaganda. Just propaganda. Yes, for the first time in months, gas has gone down by 78, 79 cents in Mississippi. Is it down where we want it? No. Nope. But I feel like it will be. If you just spend your day whining and complaining, then that's the way your day's going to be. That's the way your week's going to end up. And that's the way your month and year is going to end up. Just have the truth. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro also announced a 21-count drug trafficking indictment against 14 defendants operating an alleged narcotics ring right at an elementary school. Surveillance. I mean, it's just crazy. We have to talk about all this every day, even right here in Mississippi. Insanity. Surveillance footage captured the shocking moment a woman purchased all that cocaine. She liked the cocaine. Just a couple of feet, like 5 feet to be exact, from 5-year-old children. Oh my God. These dirtbags, y'all, who are selling drugs less than 1,000 feet from elementary schools. Y'all get it together out there. We can't put up with that. If you see it happening, say something, call somebody, call the police, do something. But don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just don't. That's just the truth. We have to stop being sissies. We have to stop being scaredy cats. I'm talking to you, Democrats. Got to take up for the children, man. Shreveport, Louisiana. Shreveport, Louisiana shows that a parish over there, which is locally at Shreveport, is one of the largest, actually the world's largest, that's crazy numbers, with crystal meth and stuff in their water system. Cocaine, morphine, hydrocodone, fentanyl, etc. Are you listening? I don't know about you guys, but if you're drinking water, tap water now, you're not realizing the leftover drugs that are in the water. And new data supports all of this. This is not just some made up crap, y'all. It's not. We're talking about in the world. I see a jokester saying always love the water there. It's not funny. Fentanyl, meth, all that'll kill you. It'll kill babies. It'll kill kids. It'll kill you, your parents, your grandparents, the elderly people. Shreveport, outdoing everybody. Yeah. Somebody said, I'm about to move. Well, I can't say I blame you. I can't say I blame you. Let's listen in on this newly report from the Shreveport, Louisiana area, actually. And let's talk about it a little bit because I spent a lot of time in Shreveport in my younger years.
Parish in Shreveport has the highest levels of meth in the world. Officials with LSU Health Shreveport presented findings to the Caddo Parish Commission this week, showing the results of a wastewater study that researchers say shows Caddo Parish in Shreveport has higher levels of methamphetamine than other subsets across the world.
My best educated guess is there's just a confluence of a lot of different vulnerability factors. There's not one thing that absolutely leads to it. Methamphetamine use is associated with lack of economic opportunities and hope about your future.
New data reveals Caddo Parish in Shreveport has the highest levels of meth in the world.
Yeah, I'm going to get that headline out again. In the world, the highest level in the world. Can you imagine? Wonder what they are in Jackson, Mississippi. Pretty sure they're not low. Somebody needs to look into that. What about Jackson, Mississippi, Canton, Mississippi, the coast, Memphis area? Really? Be right back.
Support for these programs comes from Electrical Solutions and Services in Pearl, Mississippi, providing licensed electrical contracting services throughout Mississippi for commercial, industrial, and residential projects. Also installations, system upgrades, troubleshooting, and emergency electrical repairs. As certified installers for Tesla, charging systems, and a certified dealer for Generac backup power solutions, their team delivers safe, code-compliant workmanship with a commitment to precision and integrity. They are veteran-owned. Their phone number is 769-572-7597.
This Friday, June 19th at Cameron's Garage, let's rock for Dad. Music from the Dirt Deacons from 7 to 11 p.m. We can't wait to see you on this Friday night celebration. And And don't forget to bring your dad. Located at Cypress Point on June 19th. If you or a loved one need reliable medical equipment, trust a name Mississippi has depended on for over 20 years. Mobility Medical, located right in Flowood, is your local family-owned source for mobility and home healthcare solutions. From power wheelchairs and scooters to lift chairs that help you relax in comfort, they've got everything you need to stay independent and live better every day. Need help at home? Mobility Medical offers hospital beds, tables, and essential supplies, and more. What sets them apart? It's their personalized service. Their experienced team works one-on-one with you to find the right equipment. Serving all of Mississippi and beyond with in-store support and delivery options available. Mobility Medical, helping you move better, live better, and stay independent. Visit them today in Flowood or call to learn more.
Welcome back to the Unleashed Media and Talk Show with Daryl Arnold. And yes, he's still unapologetic.
7:42 in the morning at 104.3 FM and all of your live streaming spots. We're live on a Friday, June 19th, 2026. Man, wow, I'm still blown away about the water in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the whole world, having cocaine, meth, fentanyl in the dang water. Wow. More than anywhere in the world. That's unreal. I'd love for somebody to check the damn Jackson water, though. What's left of it, because our whole water system in Jackson is ruined anyway. So there's no telling. No telling. No telling, my friends. None. A little music stuff here for you. Desmond Child. Growing up, a lot of our favorite hit songs by people like Kiss, by people like Alice Cooper, Bon Jovi. There's so many more, actually. Just really all of them. All these big hits that Aerosmith, much of those too. All these big hits that we just liked that had the greatest hooks ever. All those hooks, all those songs were written by a gentleman named Desmond Child. He's still around. I recently heard Desmond Child speaking about some of his writing sessions. Very interesting, too, by the way. Some of his writing sessions with Bon Jovi and others, Aerosmith, etc.
Session of Living on a Prayer.
I suggested Johnny and Gina, and John said, I can't sing that. My name's John. Everybody will think I'm singing about myself. And we're all like, Tommy. What about Tommy?
Bon Jovi comes out. You got the Kiss hits.
Gene Simmons always hated the song.
You have massive hits.
Cruising for the ladies.
Cruising for the ladies.
Steven said, well, originally I was singing Dude Looks Like a Lady. And I said, that's a hit title.
Yeah, and you changed the course of Latin music also. Livin' La Vida Loca is the first song ever done completely in the box.
The first song to be all done digitally to make it all the way to #1. Ideas are not that precious. It's just part of being a working songwriter. I had written, if you were a woman.
If you were a woman and I was a man. That's what became Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. What about that? It's weird. You never know behind the scenes what's happening.
To blame. I just knew that was a hit chorus. It had to become You Give Love a Bad Name.
Right. We'll go with Elmo talking to Desmond Child there on a Friday morning. And that guy had all kind of hits with Kiss as well. Aerosmith, many hits. The writing machine behind those big bands on the big hits. They wrote most of their other songs, but their monster songs were typically Desmond Child was in the mix somewhere in the background, in the mix, doing his thing. Doing his thing. Just in a couple of minutes back, President Trump says he's going to play out the next 60 days with Iran, who won't get 10 cents from America at all. That's what he said on his Truth Social. He also went on to say, how stupid can some people be, really? We didn't meet them out of desperation. Iran did. They're finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They'll get no money, not even 10 cents. The war has diminished Iran. These are his words. It doesn't have anything anymore. No Air Force, Navy, any of that equipment, radar, practically anything else. The Democrats and quite frankly, some of the Republicans say that Iran is better off than it was 4 months ago. Can you imagine getting away with that? Yeah, that's crazy. They're saying that. It really is. It's really crazy.
And shove it. Nobody can do it. And if they do, we'll hit them with Patriots. That's all. And they'll be gone. And they know that. Technical discussions on the removal of all stockpiles of enriched materials will begin immediately. We're going to start that immediately. And unlike Barack Hussein Obama, who sent Iran pallets of cash and any relief they receive under this deal, they'll have to get based on merit. And it won't be from us. We don't have to give them anything. But some people may want to invest. Like, what are you going to do? Say you can never, ever invest in a country? I mean, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Anyway, Vice President J.D. Vance's trip, we talked about this earlier, Switzerland canceled because of some people are saying the Iranians are reportedly demanding guarantees that Israel will end its attacks against Hezbollah and Lebanon. The White House put out a statement, though, saying late last night, saying, as the vice president said on the press conference, the plans for upcoming technical talks have not been finalized, and the U.S. delegation has prepared to depart at the first available opportunity. But the logistics of these negotiations have never been simple or predictable. So we'll let you know on an update. We talked about this the other day. It's disturbing, though. It's still disturbing. 27% of the Democrats, the far left political geniuses, in their opinion only, intend to, only 27% of them intend to fly a flag on July 4th. And only 24% of Democrats and independents are going to celebrate the 250 independence at all. And what is wrong with these people? What went wrong, yo? Millennials out there, what went wrong with the kids? Seriously. You weren't like that. I wasn't like that. And the people before me were not like that. It's just unreal. Unbelievably unreal. But when you don't respect our laws over here, as Secretary of DHS Mullins said, when you don't respect our laws, when you're coming in, how do we expect you to respect laws when you're living here? That's what we're talking about, people coming across the border still. Illegally.
sense out of where the Democrat Party is today. CNN had a poll out that showed that only 26% of the Democrat Party is proud of America today. And I'm going, what? I wake up every single day and think I am the luckiest man in the world to be born in this country. But at the same time, there's a lot of lucky people that have immigrated to this country legally and have been very successful because there is a legal process we had to do it. But when you don't respect our laws when you're coming in, how do we expect you to respect the laws when you're living here as well? And we have one person that dies at the hands of an illegal is one too many. Just in Tennessee, we've had 41 deaths over the last year. This individual we're talking right here. Now, it was aspirational from the Secret Service to the FBI and all components within DOJ and DHS was working closely on this case. And they had ambitions, but we were able to track them down because they were also very sloppy at the work they were doing. But
and again, we're talking about a major attack that was going to happen at the UFC fight at the White House with 84,000 people there.
It's scary because one lone wolf can do something like this, and we're seeing it too often at the hands of illegals, and every single one of those are preventable. And we see the Democrat Party spend more time protecting the illegals that entered this country that's woefully breaking our laws and willfully breaking our laws, instead of looking out for the law-abiding citizens and encouraging individuals to immigrate here legally.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? But it's a crying. It's a sad truth. It's real sad. Heartbreaking truth. Heartbreaking truth. And this is the last thing I'll say about this whole war thing today, before we roll into the weekend. President Trump is the only president ever again who's ever had the guts to take decisive action and eliminate a threat that we have faced for 47 years. Whether you like what's happened so far, that is the truth. Period. End of discussion on that. Not saying you got to suck up to him. Not saying you got to agree with him all the time. But nobody else has done anything. Now, it is the weekend, so going into the weekend, Bono, the weirdo, the far left brain rot, the singer for the band U2, ends the performance by yesterday at the new Obama Center library, ends the performance by being real bizarre with Michelle Obama as his own wife. Yeah, these people are creeps. More creepiness from, I don't know, Obama looks like he may want to get involved in that little love affair too, but more creepsters, just more creepsters. And what's up with the piano being out of tune? Somebody just messaged me. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Makes it sound even more creepier. I guess nobody told Bono that Michelle Obama hates or doesn't like or thinks that white males are just bad people. She's the one that says that, not me. Yeah, kind of weird. Kind of weird. After the hand gesture from her and him, you can clearly see what's going on. But you know, Obama Barack and Michelle are known for having late night parties when they were in there. Late night with musicians, sex parties. Just ask John Legend. He's the one that admitted on camera, not me. Not me. Somebody said she will definitely be running for president in 2028. I doubt that. Because she hates being ridiculed. She cannot stand it. She cannot stand it. Really and truly, though, comes to you two. I never liked them jackasses anyway. So, like one song maybe 100 years ago. But Bono, U2, the Obamas are two of the most overrated individuals in their field of endeavors. These are text messages I'm getting. Yeah, some of them I can't read on the air, obviously, but yeah. Someone said, I didn't think I couldn't stand U2 until I saw this. I was wrong. Yeah, well, it is pretty creepy. Pretty creepy. Moving on to one story here. A staggering story that Laura Logan was talking about. To see how the media has become the co-conspirators. This is true now. The media has become the co-conspirators with those guilty of treason and sedition. So disappointed. We do have a few senators left, like Ron Johnson, committed to do the right thing. But it's just sad that the Biden health officials, this is the truth, y'all. This is no longer somebody hating on one side or the other. Turned a blind eye towards the vaccine safety signals, the Fauci scandals, the document, the proof of corruption, the most of it of the legacy media was definitely in on it, refusing to report any of this. Remember, they would not report any of this to us. And then everybody wonders why we are where we are now. Okay? Because they had everybody living in a fake plastic world for years. Years. All of the disorders, the strokes, the heart attacks. Finally, teams of clinical researchers who were diagnosing and treating individuals for the wrong thing. We're starting to understand, wait a minute, this ain't right. No, it's not. Never was right. Never was right. Ever. Just crazy. Insane. And that Act Blue organization, their training documents, you know, if you want to be an employee there, their training documents train you to ignore fraud. They even train their own employees to let donations come in with fake names, not flagged suspicious or fraudulent donations from campaigns. So the Democrat socialists out there actually set up their donation systems to intentionally allow all of this fraud to happen. We need prison sentences for all these people. But we also need to stay positive. We talk about all this bad stuff, but we really are lucky to live in the best country in the entire world, which is the free United States of America, even if they try to tell you it's not. Even if they try to tell you it's not. We are the United States of America. I am Daryl Arnold. This is Unleash Media and Talk with Daryl Arnold. Until next time, see ya.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hashtag unfiltered, hashtag unapologetic, America First Talk at its best. Where we party the right way. See you next time, or else.